What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. So check this out. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, welcome to the show. We appreciate you guys for always supporting us. We love you guys and keep on supporting. We'll be around for a minute, all right? So today on the show, we are continuing to try to close out the year on a positive note. Now, everybody goes through something. Everybody does things in their lives that doesn't go the way that they want them to go. All right. So we're trying to raise up the bar, make the bar a little bit higher, and showcase people who have gone through things, but have gone through it and have excelled. And this lady is man, she killing the. I'm jealous, Gina. You know what I mean? I'm jealous. All right.
What are you jealous of?
The game. I'm trying to kill the game, and I'm missing letters. Okay, I'm killing the aim. I need that G. Gotta have it.
Well, you killing it too, bro. You killing it.
But this woman here, man, Tam Lawrence is her name. All right.
Yes.
They used to make a joke a long time ago about, they said Jamaica's this and Jamaica's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different jobs and they're doing them all good. This lady got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different.
Well, I can't wait till she come on to tell us how she doing it and doing it very well.
Doing it. That's a LL Cool J song. She doing it. Anyway.
Right.
What's going on?
Hey guys. I can't wait to hear. Yes.
Man, look.
Some people can't handle one.
We're going to be talking with Tam Lawrence. All right, she's a CEO of her own business company. She's a publisher. She's a motivational speaker. This is girl power all the way through, man. All right, and she's the CEO of Exposure TV, Exposure Plus TV. Let me get that right, Exposure Plus TV, and
Exposure Plus.
Basically, she's excelling in just about everything she touches. All right, and in this male-dominated field that we're in, she's killing the game, right? Yeah. So let's not hesitate, man. Everybody, welcome Miss Tam Lawrence to the show.
Hi, welcome. Tam. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great.
Girl power in the building, you guys.
Yes.
wanted to make sure that as the year comes to an end, we want to continue to tell great stories. We want to continue to uplift people, inspire people, educate people. It's rare when we get an opportunity to talk to someone of Miss Lawrence's stature, so that we can learn things about her and how she's gotten to the place that she's at. So, Tam, if we can call you Tam, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Most definitely. So, I just want to first of all start off by asking you, how did you get into this? How did you start doing all of this media stuff because it's a lot that you're doing. And I know we're not going to even have time to do the whole thing. Okay. But there's a lot that you're doing. How did you get into the media?
Well, first and foremost, I would say through my mother, because my mom, she was the woman behind the brochures at the church, and this is years ago when they would do cutting out magazines and clipping out what were we used like what was that thing called, like a typewriter and some other stuff to put together. And it would be, you know, glue and scissors, and we would go to the library every Saturday to get ready for church for Sunday. And I just loved it. My mother is was just everything. She's a class valedictorian, and so when she would do things, it was always in a spirit of excellence. And so that just caught my eye. I knew I wanted to do something in graphic design, and then as I continued on my journey, my sister was just like, "You know what? You should try out for Def Jam Comedy." And I was like, "Really? You think I?" And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So we went to a comedy club in Milwaukee, and there was some comics from Chicago there. And then I started in comedy. So I did BT Comic View. I toured with Jamie. I opened for some more. And I got my feet wet in the game. And I stayed in it. I Chicago and do jokes and notes, and all jokes aside, and Damon Williams, Tony Schofield. So I come from a really interesting background, but while I was doing comedy, I was in school. I was at Marquette University, and my study was psychology.
Okay.
So I finished up my psychology, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to school for communication. And at that time, Jerry Maguire had just come out. So I was watching the movie Jerry Maguire, and I was like, that's who I am. That's what I need to do. Like I need to do Jerry Maguire. Like that's my life. That and so quickly I just gravitated to that, and I would show up every game I could at the end, you know, for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I finally got Tim Thomas to listen to me. Then I had Sam Cassell. Then I got Big Dog. And next thing you know, I was a publicist. And so I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm in, you know. So from being a publicist to saying, okay, now what do I do? You know, I want to tour and travel the world. So I packed up my daughter and we moved out to, and my dad owns this real estate investment firm. And so I was doing real estate too. I was always wearing 17 different hats. And so Countrywide had an opportunity for somebody to come and help them with their forensic audits and securitizations. And so for me, that was easy. I knew how to read trust documents and mortgages backwards. So I grabbed that job. While I was in that, I reached out to a source sister who is now in Charlotte. And so she said, come on down for the Democratic Convention. So I went for the Democratic Convention, knocked that out. Then I moved on to Atlanta. And after Atlanta, I got hooked up with Atlanta Housewives when they first started out. And I started being a publicist for other people out there. Jeff McKinnis, he played NBA. Eddie Drummond, he was NFL. And Dwight Eubanks, who was on Atlanta Housewives. And so during that time, something happened and it shifted my whole entire situation because my parents were advocates. They were activists in Milwaukee. My mother marched with Father Grappi. They were actually true Pan-Africanists. And so we studied our people, diaspora, and I felt like I need to do something where my life mattered. And I started working with Isaiah Thomas, and he was doing a piece on the DC sniper. And the DC sniper, Muhammad, in the transcribes of this piece, this manuscript, it kept saying they were not listening. And so for my study in psychology, I just started saying they weren't listening. And I thought about my son. I thought about my firstborn and how in society, people don't listen to man to really understand. They listen to respond. So I started putting together things that I thought that would make sense. So I kicked out this magazine, and Jamie Foster Brown, who owns Sister to Sister, said, Tam, this is nice. And I thought, yeah, it's okay. It's not what my mother would think. You know, it's all right. I haven't done anything yet. So the magazine was the first thing. 2013, I released Exposure magazine, and I never stopped. That's 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to use this to really focus my attention around who we are as a people and tell our stories. So I jumped on the caravan going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that was like 8, 9 years ago. Yeah. And they were going to Tulsa to really try to help them preserve the land because at that time developers were trying to take Greenwood away from
Mm-hmm.
the people from Greenwood and from Little
Mm-hmm.
Africa because it wasn't called Black Wall Street. It was called Little Africa. People have changed it to Black Wall Street as we go on. But anyways, I started to tell them about what we could do PR wise, and I represented some of the survivors.
Mm-hmm.
And so, collecting those stories, I continued to write essays in the magazine. So people would see celebrities on the front cover, but the stories in it were about 64,000 African American women missing in America right now.
Mm-hmm.
The stories were about the water in, Flint, Michigan, the water in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The stories about African American males who, by 77% in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has seen prison before the age of 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept on trying to do what my parents did and just advocate through the magazine. I needed to tell the stories. I needed people to know the truth of what is happening in the agenda. So I used that piece for that. And then I created All Man Rock at the same time, which is a television show that was on Comcast and AT&T Uverse. And All Man Rock was about telling the stories of men who had overcome life obstacles to achieve their greater goals in life. And for me, that was me having a way to fight for my son and to fight for the sons. I remember Emmett Till mother saying, when one thing happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. And so for me, my life has always been, how can I fight for my people? Huey Newton said to become an advocate is to die and to commit suicide. And what he meant by that was to die of self. Once you have died of self, you can live for you can truly live out your God-given purpose because you weren't placed here on this earth to do it for yourself. You were placed here to do something to make this world a better place, to show God's light. And for me,
Absolutely.
media does not make me. I make media.
Go on, girl.
Come on.
I continue on the journey still to this day. Remembering what Malcolm X said, my parents were two different people. One was a Pentecostal apostolic, and my father was with the Nation of Islam. And so my dad would always protest in the house about how media had the ability to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. Understand what media, if you understand how media controls so much of our perception, our thoughts, if you can control a piece of that. I just recently, in the last year, had an opportunity to meet with Bobby Seals, who was one of the leaders of the Black Panther, who was the originator and creator of the Black Panther and movement. And he was just expressing to me that, Tam, it was not just us out on the front line that moved the people that created the hell and havoc with the government. It was that we had a paper, they had a newspaper that they were afraid. This newspaper was selling out on every corner. And so when you study the power of something and the importance of it to our people, we got to figure out how to use that instrument for good.
Yeah.
And so I grew up in an age where we believe in superheroes. And so I always say to people that our kryptonite of our people is the trauma that we've endured. And so in order for us to challenge ourselves, we have to be a superhero, find out what your power is, and then use that power for good. My power is the ability to create some of the most magnificent media platforms. So I use it for good. I use it to make sure that I celebrate the diaspora of our people, and then I push and promote the fact that people need to know our story.
You are so well versed, and I love listening. We're sitting here mesmerized, just listening.
Yeah,
Listen
listen.
to talk. Okay. Jean, you had a question?
Yes, first of all, comedy. That kind of threw me there. So she's gonna have to do some stand up for us.
I'm just saying,
Uh-oh.
you're so refined and so.
I
Yeah,
know.
so
I
Sabrina.
I'm
know.
a comedian, okay? You're so funny, and I'm like, hey, she throwing out these facts, she's throwing out this wisdom, throwing out this inspiration. All right, where the fun? All right, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what? To be able to be diversified like that, it says a lot about you. But my question is, you talked about how you came out in 2013 with the magazine and just fighting for, sounds like to me, our people, our men, and what we believe in and what we should have. That was difficult in 2013. What are some of the pushbacks that you had?
You know what? Knowing what I know today, where people weren't especially forthcoming with information to help you grow, to position you. There was nowhere to go to say, how do I start a magazine? Who should I talk to? I mean, we spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to figure out how to become a publication that would be syndicated in libraries. If people didn't take you serious. And most times I get, you can't be that smart.
Hmm.
As a Black woman, you can't be that smart. And then the sad part is that a lot of that comes from our own people.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
sad.
believe it.
That's
I
sad.
can believe it.
And it's probably a bunch of men that say that too, right?
I really don't listen. No, just kidding.
Like I tune it out. I don't know if it's man
Yeah,
or women. I just don't listen to it.
But it
yeah.
doesn't. To me, it doesn't make a difference though, Tam, because as you said, you tune it out because you know what you're destined to do. You know where you're going. You may not know how to do it, but as we stumble along, and because I've been looking at a lot of stuff that you've been doing, and I'm like, Jesus, does she sleep? Does she even have time to sleep? But you're doing it. And I can imagine how a bunch of and this is and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a male dominated field that you're in. And a lot of guys are probably like, yeah, whatever, man. Okay, we're gonna do whatever we can to make sure she stay here while we stay here. I hate that because this is the time and age now. Like I said, girl power. I started to show off with that girl power. Women are really, really, really doing what they need to do in order to make themselves in the proper way, and you're doing that. You're definitely something that needs to be talked about. That's why I wanted you on here, because I wanted people to hear your story. I know that again, you've gone through things in order to get to where you're at, and me personally, I'm listening so I can learn. All right, Marcella, you had a question.
Yes. Who are the three most influential people in your life that's totally other than your parents that's molded you into who you are now?
Oh man, Miss Patty, which was my English teacher. Miss Rose, who said that I am the thinker that thinks the thought that makes things happen. I kept that with me every single day. I never let it go because it has charged me. I would say that Miss Holmes right now, which is my second to none. She's been a friend to me. I just lost my mother, so
Sorry
so
to hear that.
sorry.
it
In
has
April.
been, yeah, wow. Yeah, in April. Thank you so much for
Oh.
recognizing. Yeah, so without her, it's been a really interesting journey, and I just feel like God has camped His angels around me at this time as I go through, because it really vexes your spirit. It changes your whole entire life. It's a shift. The other one, Jamie Foster Brown, I would have to say, it was her words that said, Tam, go forward, build your table.
She's a very powerful woman. Let me ask you, Tam. As I was going through, and like I said, doing some research, I was going through your IMDb, and you were saying that you've been through every obstacle that you could imagine. How did you get through those obstacles and in order to do the numerous things that you're doing? I mean, some obstacles stop people right then and there. How did you get through?
Oh my gosh. Boy, first and foremost, prayer. Knowing who I am in God, you have to understand who you are, why you are, and then you have to trust the process. Faith is everything for me.
Yeah. Yes.
I've had an affair with faith from day one, and I'm in love with that. And so I trust God with my whole heart, with everything. I remember there was a time we ran into a financial situation with printing the magazine, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and Airbnb my house out. So most of my family is deceased. So it was just me and my mother. So at that time, I put my mother in respite care. And then I said, well, where? So I was like, I'm not going to no hotel. I'm going to use every dime I got to make sure I pay my staff and go to print. So I slept on the side of a park and finished writing a magazine. So when it's in your heart to do what it is that you're going to do in this lifetime, nothing could stop you.
That's something else. That's a
I
beautiful.
can that determination. I can see you have that, and from what you said about your parents, I could see that you got it from your parents.
Determination.
So let's talk about the magazine, Exposure Magazine. It's you call it a luxury lifestyle publication. It's driven to maximize partners, sponsors, and advertisers' brand visibility, which goes to what you were saying. You're looking out for a lot of people to try to get them that exposure. What made you want to focus on that?
In the 10th year anniversary, which is happening right now, I made a shift watching the weapon of choice. And so I was watching this particular movie, and it celebrates the life of one of the most amazing and incredible men in media. I decided to kind of shift that and start writing essays more so than articles, and these essays focus on how do we get there, right? So in order for Black people to really understand where we're at, we have to really understand that you're homeless in America. I don't care where you at. I don't care what city you're in. You're going to always be homeless in America. America is built off Elizabethan, the Vatican, the Roman. They have their own rules, their own situation. Until you understand what this stature is set up and how this corporation is built, then you're always going to be at a loss. So I figure people need to wake their ask up. And so now I am writing articles. And when I say ask, I say ASK, ask the right questions. Because as long as you are here and you in a space and place where people are Vikings and they're about capitalism, right? If you don't understand how this game is set up, you can't play. So the articles that I am now writing are to help people understand exactly how the situation is set up so that we can.
I'm quite sure a lot of people come to you and ask questions to try to get to a different level in their lives. Can you talk about some of the people that come through and the passion that they have or the passion that they don't have?
The most interesting ones that I'm doing a case study right now, and I talk about novelists. And we have become so inhumane because of metaverse. And I think we need to reverse metaverse. Let's just reimagine that we put some humanity and bring back a more humanistic feel to how we communicate with one another. And so for me, is dealing with people who come from corporate America and into this space of business. I've never had a job. No, even with Countrywide, I've always been a contractor, always owned my own business.
There
So
you
I
go.
can't tell you what it feels like to be on a plantation, but I can tell you how you can do to free your mind.
I
And,
love it.
and people have gotten so caught up in in the space of corporate American, with we forgot who. I think the biggest thing that I work from is a lot of people didn't listen to what Martin Luther King said, and this is an article that I write about as far as novelists. He said that I believe I led my people into a burning building. The process of assimilating us too soon without us figuring out our own identity did not allow a space in America where Black people could thrive. We haven't arrived yet. We are still in a space where we believe everything that is being told to us is the truth.
Right.
And we're not doing fact checks for ourselves. We don't collaborate. We don't come together. And without an agenda, you understand what I'm saying? Without an agenda to tear one another apart. And so I meet these people who come in from a corporate space into the entrepreneurial world. Being a business owner and an entrepreneur is two different things.
Speak on it, girl. Please tell these people what to do.
So, to me, I think that when people do walk into this space, I always ask, are you doing it from a place where you are under the trust? Or are you operating in error? So if you're operating in error, I don't really seek to speak with you on that, or do business with you, because you expose us to a government that does not care. That does not care, that's not coming to save us. And I think that Black people in America are waiting on Moses, but he's not coming.
He ain't coming no time soon, y'all. He might come today, but he's gonna be old and bent over and all of that stuff too. But that is so true. So as we and we're talking with Tam Lawrence. She's just I'm going to call you multimedia specialist. Let's do that. But do you go around and speak?
You know, I try not to. I've been quiet for a long time, and I love being a unicorn. And I'm not ready yet. I believe that God will give me the divine appointment when it's my
There you
time.
go. I love it. I love it.
Sam, you
Some
got
people
too
move
much.
so quick. They
Yes.
don't listen to God and they step out there, and that's why they fail.
But she got too much knowledge to just hold it in, and too much that she needs to give to people. Okay, because you see people, Tam, you see people out here doing it wrong. All right, and come on, I know you want to just reach through the screen, reach through the doors, and just say, "Hey, man, look, you got to do it this way. This is wrong." You know, you got to get out there. All right, Marcella, you got a question?
I do. Tam, you're doing so much. So I know it's not all you're doing it by yourself. You have a team with you. What makes a great team?
The I in you.
Ah,
The I in you.
okay.
I've learned to stand alone.
I was just gonna say,
Okay, so you're doing everything alone. You don't have a team with you.
I have people that support what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and so I appreciate them. Yep. I have a wonderful, amazing Jason who makes sure that my schedule is together.
My man Jason.
Yeah, for me, it's keeping things in order. Sometimes when you have a team, you got to slow down, and you must know that if something happens to them, then what happens to your business? And so as a publicist, I'm very concerned about the voice of my business, the brand that I took to build, the times that I slept in my car. I add all that up. And see, sometimes when people haven't paid the price, then they don't treat it the same way. So these are my babies. And so I treat them just like I treat my amazing, precious 2 children.
Okay.
I can't afford to take a loss.
Exactly.
I'm
That's
a Black
good.
woman in America. I
And
can't.
I'm sure that even the people in your circle, you make sure that they have the same vision that you have.
You have
You
to.
can't have oil and water.
Like mine. I don't know if you want to answer this, but one of the viewers says, Ms. Lawrence, the legacy of your mother in Milwaukee sounds so familiar. Do you mind sharing her name? This is Ella from Gary, Milwaukee.
Oh my God, thank you so much. It's Patricia Ann Lawrence. And she marched with Father Grappi for Black people to live in the area of Sherman Park.
All right.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Amazing. Were you involved or were you able to see her go through these different steps of her life?
Oh my God. My mother?
Mm-hmm.
My mother was my golden girl.
Ah,
I used to live in Hawaii. I came home to visit for Mother's Day. My mother really seemed like she was getting a little bit more um it just seemed like her health was kind of going in the opposite direction. So when I was in college, she had her first stroke. My father was
mm,
49 when he died. So while we
mm,
were sitting at the funeral home, I could see my mother leaving us. I knew that it wouldn't be long before something would happen. And so I had her come live with me and the kids while I was in college. So that when I left out to go to Charlotte, I had my mom stay with one of the ladies from the church who had a home. And when I came back, they didn't do the care. So she said, stay until I die. I never left her side since that day. Me and my mother was
mm,
together all the way to the end. I promised her we'll never be with anybody else.
Oh,
mm,
I
wow.
rode it all the way to the end. No matter if I
Mm.
had to give up my business. I was sitting in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a place that I hadn't been in 12 years. So I couldn't start a life here. There was no celebrities. Everything was gone. And
mm,
so for me, it was like, God, why am I here? What am I going to do? But if it was to give up everything that I had worked for to make
mm.
sure that I spend the last days with my mother, I did that.
Yeah.
Mm. That's why
That's
you're so blessed.
Yes,
That's my
yes.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's so commendable. Okay, because a lot of, especially now with these kids nowadays, they feel entitled. They feel that they owe you.
Oh.
We owe them, I should say. And you know, we came from, and I think I can speak for everybody on here. We came from a time where our parents did everything in the world that they could do for
Mhm.
us. So why wouldn't we do for them? Why
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't we be there for
Mm-hmm.
them? You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
We're
that was
talking. We're,
golden
talking-
girl.
we are talking with Tam Lawrence, multimedia perfectionist, expert. I'm trying to think of some more words that I can use for her. For this lady. Um,
Mhm.
because she's fantastic. Now you've got the Exposure magazine. We you have Exposure Plus Television as well, your own television network.
Mhm.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
God, thank you. And let me just say, I am nothing more than a mere servant. I
Get
am nothing.
out of here.
Mm-mm. Thank you, though, for all the kind words, but I am nothing more than a mere servant. I've been sent here to do a job. And so, exposure, oh my gosh, at the top of the pandemic, we were supposed to be traveling to all of the film festivals. So we were ready to travel to the film festivals, ticket in hand, headed out to the first one was Tara Renee's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And as we were getting ready to come out, we get a call that the festivals had been canceled. My whole
mm,
entire business plan just went up in smokes. I was like, oh my
mm.
God, my God, what do I do? Right. So I say, you know what? They threw us some lemons. Go make some lemonade. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
figure this out. I'm gonna Uber it. But some kind of way we'll figure it out. And we did. The first application, I brung back All Men Rock. I gathered men from all over the place. I just went on LinkedIn and was like, hi, can I talk to you? I went in their inboxes and was like, hey, are you ready to tell your story? Would you be willing to join me? So I gathered all of these wonderful and incredible men. And we started All Man Rock, the new era. And so we would literally, people didn't know it, but a lot of it was produced by men doing it with their cell phones. So these men took out their cell phones. I showed them how to film, how to produce some content. They would send it in. We ended up getting like 134,000 downloads.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, we were kicking butt, taking names. We were like, oh my God, we finally got it. We broke it. So then I broke out and was like, somebody go get me a bunch of kids. I need some kids. We're going to start a college show. And we
Mm,
had some
Break it down.
incredible children to come in, and these kids were great. So I would have Cedric Nettles, Speak Live Nation, work with the kids, and the kids produced something that was like a TMZ show. So
mm,
they had downloads for their show. We were going through it, but oddly, we didn't know that sitting on a third party server or using a third party developer did not give us the rights to the actual application, the native process of an app. So when you're using third party development systems, now, secretly said, I've studied with the Moors, so I don't trust a lot of different situations. You know the ethos of everything. So, because there's always a game against us. Into it and I began to study. But while I was taking care of my mother, I had became a lobbyist in the state of Wisconsin. So I started lobbying, and when you start to lobby and you see things doing against us, so we didn't know. So we were building out these apps with a third-party developer somewhere in India. Oh boy! So this app didn't allow us to pivot nor scale. We were not becoming a Netflix. We couldn't become an Amazon in this manner. So I decided to go to another programmer, and this programmer said you would have all of this TVOD, SVOD, OTT space, blah 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 blah. They're gonna flush commercials through. That was a lie.
Oh, wow.
That was a lie. That's 100 and some thousand later. That's a lie. So we get over there,
Ooh.
we get about 600,000 downloads. We killing it during the pandemic. We have
Wow.
great content. We have people who are celebrities wanting to come in. I'm working with Ayan. Still, there was this piece that didn't allow us to have pay-per-view, be able to collect on advertisement, roll out advertisement, this kind of thing. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna lead them too. And I'm gonna go out and find my own headhunters. I'm gonna build my own app. I'm gonna do everything myself. I'm gonna own the source code. I'm gonna buy my own servers. Show me where to go. And I went. So I went to Amazon had AWS. They had something for Black women during the George Floyd thing. The diversity, equity, inclusion situation just opened up a whole nother situation. So I was like, oh God, we got to take advantage of everything. So we did. So I got the servers from AWS as a grant. Then I decided, okay, now what else do? We got to get our own hosting platform. So we went and got our own hosting platform, and we hired our own developers to build out what you see today as Exposure Plus TV.tv. Then we infused that relationship with a $2.5 million deal from HBO. HBO came in, so we have clearance to go get any content we want from HBO. Became partners with them. I wrote the diversity initiative for them as well as for Roku, and I just kept on going. Nothing was going to stop. Literally, I was working 18 hours. I was some people said, "Did you, like you said, do I sleep?" And I'm like, nope. I get about 4 hours. I do 2 in the afternoon, do another 2 in the middle of the night, and get right back up and keep going because meetings around the country happen. At times that we sleep, right? So anyhow, continued on the succession of that. I met someone named Belinda out of Africa, and she opened up Africa markets. She is now with another company that kind of took her away from us, but it still opened up African markets where we now have people in Nairobi on the ground working over there to make sure that we get movies from Africa that are natively brought in, not brought in through a third party. So we now have over 50,000 movies in our platform. We have independent, we have everything you can think in terms of monetization. We have faster processing systems. We have unlimited airtime to stream content on a consistent basis. The platform is not limited by far, and I own the source code. So that was the main thing. I wanted to get to the source of how in the world do we own our own situation and not controlled by a third party. I wasn't doing that. So people who are using Lightcast and all these other TV startup programs, darling, you're making a big mistake. I can tell you that North Carolina company does not care about us. They're very racist. I wrote something about them. Every time something happened, I wrote a book about it. So I wasn't playing with them. I wrote another
I love you, Miss Tam.
You are,
I love you.
yes, seriously making lemonade.
And I just kept, yep, I'm gonna tell the truth and shame the devil. I had to literally go after these people. Attorney General's
That is
office.
what's up.
I wrote everybody. I mean, I used that lobbyist code or that title to do everything that I had to get done. I flew
That's that
out to
kingdom of
Washington, D.C.
Islam.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you,
assalamu alaikum.
Tam.
Yes. Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you. So, and it's amazing that you said that, because I just learned how if I want to now, I can revitalize my Dope Living TV network, but I don't want to do that. The pandemic, I did the exact same thing that you did, basically. Okay, not like you did it, but the same concept. And pandemic came, and bam, that's why I started the show, because it shut everything down. But you were able to navigate through it. That's for me, that's a tremendous story. I'm telling you, because I'm telling
Yes,
you,
it is.
you know, had the same thing. Had a platform called Dope Living TV. It's still out there, but it's just out there. You know, never took it down. It's just out there. Tried to do it and did not do. I won't even say a microchip of what you've done with it. So I applaud you with that. That's inspiring me. That just inspired me. I don't want to do it again, but you know, that's amazing, because you just said nothing's going to stop you, and this is what we want to portray to our viewers. You know, nothing. You don't have to sit back and wait on things to happen. You don't have to say reach a blocked wall and say, okay, that's it. You can go around and knock it down like Tam doing. She knocking, man. I almost said the other words, but she knocking stuff down, man. Marcel, you got a comment?
Yes. Tam, look, I am very inspired for some things that I'm looking at going into. And what I really love is how you're saying how Greg said, you're knocking things down. And people talk about, a lot of people think that, oh, we're free because we have our own business, or we have our own whatever. And you're teaching us and inspiring people to think, number one, we're not totally how they say, oh, we're free because we can do this and we're making money, but you're showing what true freedom is. Starting your own, going around, and whereas you're not having to, we're going to have someone to answer to at all times, but you're showing what true freedom is. Getting your own network, doing your own servers, and all these different things. You are really, boy, my mind is popping like popcorn right now.
Do you sleep?
I told you it's 2 hours in the afternoon, and then from 9 to 11. There we go again. And then after that, I'm up to about 3 or 4, and I knock it out, maybe take 2 hours, and I'm back on again. I mean, we have 24 hours in a day. What you gonna do with it?
Well, you know what, Tam?
She looked at us when she said, "What you gonna do with it?" She waiting on an answer. I don't have an answer. Go ahead.
You know what, Tam? You don't get a lot of rest. We're gonna take a quick break so you can get a little rest right now, and we're gonna redirect, regroup, and refocus with our life coach, Jeff Rutherford.
I wasn't ready.
Be ready at all times.
Supposed to be ready.
Always got to be ready.
Don't be ready. Get ready. Be ready.
You stay ready. You don't have to get ready. Okay.
Don't have to.
Here we go.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff again, coming at you with another 1-minute thought. So remember, yesterday's 1-minute thought is still a part of our 4-part series, which is your 4 steps to breakthrough. We talked about knowing who you are in the beginning. That's step 1. Now, number 2 is this: accepting your differences positively and negatively. Okay, and the reason why you have to do this is because you have to remember that you are not perfect. You have to show yourself some type of grace when it comes to you and your mistakes, when it comes to your good choices, and it comes to your bad choices, when it comes to you being a positive person within or a negative person within. Ask yourself, what can I do to change these things? Okay. But before you even do that, you have to accept and identify and know that it's there. I'm telling you, once you start accepting yourself positively and negatively, you are one step closer to receiving your breakthrough.
that dude. That's life coach Jeff Relaford. He has his own podcast on Mondays, and definitely, you can check him out here on DopelivenTV Live every single day that we're on. All right, Tam, I wanted to mention Exposure Plus TV. Man, look, if you guys go to the site that's scrolling at the bottom, and as we were on, I'm looking through here too. She has her own African, as she was stating already. It's Exposure Plus Africa. She has Exposure Plus Food. She has Exposure Plus Faith-Based. I mean, there's a bunch of Bible collections on here. It's amazing. I'm telling you. Original content, short films, HBO on Us, which means you go to her platform and you don't have to search all of that stuff. You got HBO on her. The cinema, she got movies there, kids, daytime TV, and it goes on and on and on and on. And I'm telling you, it's this is amazing. This is great. This is not Netflix. This is Exposure TV, Exposure Plus TV. Tam, you've done a great job. You've done a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
It's a lot. If you guys, you gotta go. You gotta go check this out. www.exposureplusTV.tv.
Yes.
It's an amazing. Again, I tried to do it, couldn't do it like that.
Miss Tam, how does that feel?
It feels great.
How does
I'm speaking for her.
You don't have to answer to anybody. You don't have to wait for somebody to say this is good. We can use that. How does that feel?
All of the pain that I've been through is a manifestation of my purpose.
She's so calm, y'all. I'm trying
to
wild her up, get her up there.
So she's so humble and
very
just
humble,
so serene, and I love that. All of what you're doing, you have so many people out here have their chest all stuck out, and like, oh yeah, and you're just so humble. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I said I wanted to apologize. I wasn't here last week, and I wanted to be here today to make sure that I was here with you all. Although I don't even know if you can see that the right side of my face is swole. So on Christmas, I ended up having, this dentist did some veneer work, but they opened up a nerve that got infected.
Oh no!
So the right side of my face is swollen, and I'm still in that position where I'm trying to get rid of it. But no matter what we're going through in our personal lives, we got to show up.
Yeah.
And so for me, all of the wonderful things that you've said, Greg, I thank you so much. Such a kind heart and beautiful spirit. This is, you began to think about what life is, and what it means to you, and the time that we have here to affect other people's lives. And so I just became, this was my first Christmas in a while without my mom, without my dad, my grandma, all of that. And everything just hit me all at once, and especially when you're going through pain and feel like, God, if this is what it is, if I got to go through torment and trials and tribulations and challenges alone, tell me what I need to do, God, before I get out of here. Let me do the work. And so I think that this past holiday season for me was one in which it's one of my greatest tests. And so I can't tell you when it's going to be over. I don't know what that looks like. I just have the faith that God is going to bring me through whatever this is in this season. And I hope I won't do it without me. I hope that God will provide me with all of the tools and the resources that we need to continue on. I'm not even a tenth of what I need to be right now. I'm not halfway done until I can affect more lives, so that I can see more Black people doing amazing things together. I want my life to matter. I want my children to speak of me, to remember who I was, and to have my heart. So if they said that I was anything, let me be the Harriet Tubman of media.
I love it.
You know what?
Love it.
God does not put too much on us that we cannot bear. All right, but He does test us. He does take us to test our faith. And
Mhm.
you have truly, Gina, Marcella, Mo, whoever. I mean, for me, I was truly inspired today. I
Yeah,
was truly
Oh,
yeah,
inspired.
definitely.
man, that's an understatement. You
Okay.
made up for lost time, Miss Tam.
Ooh.
And maybe it's a good thing she didn't come on the last week, okay? Because we needed this. I think we
We
all need
did.
this. This
We
is the way
did.
that I
Going
wanted to.
into the new year,
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly.
Ooh.
Linda Curtis says he will love give you the
Straight. st-
strength
Strength.
and eyes you need. I got you. I got you. We can interpret things too. Okay, put the hieroglyphics up. We got you. All right, no problem. For real. But yeah, Tam, I appreciate you giving us this time to sit
We
down,
appreciate
talk with your journey.
Yes, we all
And
do.
if you're going, like you said, you're going through things. This is the first Christmas that you had to experience without those people that supported you. But I just want to tell you that you got support from us. If you ever need us, you want to talk to us, if you want to come on here, just I'll put special bulletin. I'll put it up there and let you come through and say whatever you got to say because your words are powerful and they're very
Mhm.
inspiring. And I think people really, really, really need to hear this. And Gina, this will be one of those shows that we will when we're a bit too busy. This will be one of those shows that we will
Oh
repeat. We
yeah.
will just back up and
Oh,
repeat this show
definitely. This
so
Mhm.
that
this
we, as much as
whew,
we try not to repeat, but this one needs to be heard. So
over and over and over
yeah.
again.
Yes, yes, it's so inspiring.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Yes.
again, Tam, I want to thank you guys. Look, it's running at the bottom, www.exposureplustv.tv. Um, Also, check out Exposure magazine if you get an opportunity
Yes.
to. It's I think it's a labor of love, man. You guys got to go and just check it out. This woman, she celebrates other people. She tries to help
Yeah.
people
Man.
to be a better version of themselves. But Tamara, today we celebrate you,
Yes,
and
Miss Tam.
Thank
definitely
Yes.
well deserved celebration. So as we get out of the show every day, we man, it's just been a whole I don't even know what to say for this one. It's been a whole hour of inspiration, but we want to leave our
Mm.
viewers with some gems. And I know you got plenty of them, but give us a gem, give us something to inspire these people again.
Always give more than you ask for, and
Mm.
you'll get what you want in life. Sometimes we ask for too much, but we give so little. But always give more than you ask for.
Received.
I
Marcella.
love that. Dream big dreams. When the door of opportunity, one door closes, stop looking back at that door and trying to open that door. Look
Mm,
forward to other windows of opportunity that are being opened in front of you. Pray, ask God, what is it that He wants you to do? When God gives you the vision and okays the vision, He also gives you the provision. Remember, no one is born to be a failure.
Go ahead, girl. Gina.
Man, Miss Tam, you are such an inspirational person.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna tell you, you have family here. You definitely
Yep.
have family here.
Oh, yeah.
thank
You
you.
have you dropped so many gems. The one thing that really stuck with me is wake your ass up.
Come on.
Oh my gosh. I have never heard that before, but I love it. I absolutely love it. But that not not just that, but when you said to trust God wholeheartedly,
Hmm.
it I don't know what that did to me, but it just kind of moved me. It kind of opened up my mind and opened up my eyes because as everyone on the panel knows, I have an award show and there's a lot of barriers and doors that are shut through that. And that was what I needed to hear, Miss Tam. I don't know
Mm.
how, I don't know. I think you know, and I hope you know how strong your words are
Mm,
because they are
thank you.
very strong.
Thank you.
Powerful.
They are
Powerful.
so powerful
Thank
and they are not even loud. in their
I was
mouth.
going to say it's the way that she says it as well. Okay, and I don't see any phony. I don't see any pretense. So you know,
It's
man,
genuine. It's so
this is truly a
genuine.
blessing. This is a blessing.
Yes.
We've been blessed.
Definitely.
Ella wants to ask: are you still in Milwaukee?
Yes, I am. I'm here until the 3rd. I was still in my house, so the 3rd is closing. So
Oh,
as soon as they close, I'm on the highway. But I'm on a different venture. I gave everything I own away, and I'm on a search for. I need to dance like David. I need to see God's eyes. So
this
I got something that
that
I'm
is
in
so
search
awesome.
of, and
That's so
so
awesome. We're gonna be on her network.
yeah.
Come on.
Well, come on home. Well, come
We're
on
gonna
home.
be on her network.
Come on
I
home.
love being around people like
Wakanda.
her. You can't find that
You
many of you.
Yeah, such a
You
gentle
are such
spirit.
a gem.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You are always welcome to come. Whenever you all are ready, you just send me a message and a smoke signal, and you are welcome to come. I have no problems with that.
I'm
But
speechless.
yeah,
I am too.
sometimes in life we have to lean not to our own understanding.
Yes.
And so I am in a space where I'm searching for what God wants me to do in this lifetime.
Oh, you're gonna find it. You're gonna
And
find it.
although people think you have arrived, I think sometimes they don't know your story. So all they understand is the glory that they see. But there is a story behind every successful person. And I believe wholeheartedly that we have to put down things and all of the vanity and the fancy things that doesn't get me anymore. I've been there, done that. I need something more. I want to see God do something miraculous in my life that will impact the
It's gonna
lives of
happen.
people around me.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I need to see our people become billionaires
Mm.
in this space, you know? And
Yes.
so
I love her.
disconnecting from hundredaires and thousandaire thinkers, we ain't got time for that no more. We don't have the time and the space. We have to grow now. Time for us to grow. The door's open. And I believe that Black people, we need to wake our ass up and start running through those doors
There you
Yes.
go.
so that we can make sure that we leave a legacy here for our children. You understand?
Yes.
My babies
Yes.
have to go through
Absolutely.
what I had to go through.
Absolutely.
You know?
Exactly. Ella says, "Well, it was a pleasure hearing you, and
Wonderful.
you
Thank you,
you're a testament to God and your mother."
God.
Amen.
Man,
Amen.
look, I just say, man, look, remain peaceful. Remain. You sound so peaceful. Remain peaceful. Remain purposeful, and it's all like I said.
Ashe.
You got family here, so you ever need us,
Yes.
we here for you. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, y'all need to come over to Exposure. I need y'all to come over. So whenever you're ready, you come on home. Let me know.
Hey, I'm gonna let.
I'm telling you, when I say I love you, Miss Tam,
Yeah.
that is just not
Thank
a figure of
you.
speech. You
This is one of
you
those.
touch me in
Gina,
a
this is.
different way.
I just want to
Very
hug her.
different way.
Don't y'all
Just
have
like,
little tears in your eyes a little bit? Don't you? I mean, it's a little moist.
She's touching me in the heart.
I'm telling you.
Deep
I,
down in the heart.
well,
yeah.
thank
I
you.
didn't
Are
even.
you all in Chicago?
Well,
We're
some of us go
Northwest Indiana
Indiana
area.
here.
Michigan.
Okay. Michigan. Okay. Yeah, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. So, went to
Okay.
high school on the south side of Chicago,
Okay.
Robbins, Illinois.
Oh, I know where
Okay.
that's
Robbins,
at.
yeah,
Yeah.
most
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
I
Okay.
thought I heard a little accent when you were speaking before.
Oh my God, it come from everywhere.
But you know what?
Jason say you sound like you in New York, Sam. I
That's
said,
what I
New
no.
York,
heard. That's exactly what I
New
heard.
York. Tam, we're all from Gary though. We were born and raised in
Originally from
Oh,
Gary. Yeah.
okay.
born and raised
Okay.
in Gary.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, man. I didn't even get I couldn't even be Greg today. You know, the other Greg. I couldn't even do it.
Yes. Yes.
It's a good thing though. I needed
Yes.
I really needed this because it's been you know this year has been really
Yeah, we've been through the storms.
yeah, been through the storm. So I mean I know you've been through the storm, which is one of the reasons why, as I searched and searched and searched, we look for people to come on the show that have great stories. Your story just touched me, but I wanted to learn more. And we learned a lot today. We didn't learn everything because there's a lot more to this woman. And hopefully, Tam, you can come back and at some time and share some more with us. All right, inspire us a little bit more, educate us a little bit more, entertain us next time with some jokes. All right.
I used to tell jokes.
Right? We had to have a comedy show.
Me and you, you know, I can open for you and then you just close it out. Right?
I do. I have a show I'm working on. It's called One Egg Over Easy, and it's about living after hysterectomy, and it's hilarious.
You're gonna put that on Exposure Plus TV?
I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's gonna be funny. But it's real. It's real talk. It's definitely for women who have had hysterectomies or dealing with hot flashes. They'll love it.
I'm purposely
you opening up that door, Miss Tam. You sure you want to do that?
I'm purposely trying to go over an hour because I don't want her to go, but I know we got to get out of here. All right, Tam, appreciate you. We're gonna stay in contact with each other. I got you.
Yes.
I know Gina and Marcel are gonna do it anyway.
Yes,
yeah, of course.
Hey, this is Dope Living TV Live. All right, we have Miss Tam Lawrence on here, Exposure Magazine, Exposure Plus TV. All right, we've been blessed today. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow on the show. All right, peace out.
Awesome.